And welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The headlines. Federal government tasks security forces on decimating insurgency, assures of collaboration with sister African countries. The jail attack. Defense headquarters upscales measures to arrest escapees. And INEC distributes election materials to 30 local government areas of Osun states ahead of Saturday's governorship election. Thanks very much for joining us. We begin with security matters. President Muhammadu Buhari has tasked the nation's armed forces to collaborate more effectively with those of neighboring countries towards ensuring that terrorists and insurgents undermining security and stability are wiped out from the face of the earth. The president gave the directive at the graduation ceremony of Senior Executive Course 44 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State. He said this is necessary so that Nigeria and the affected countries can be taken to their rightful destination of peace and stability. State House correspondent Adam Osambo has details.
247 participants found worthy in both character and learning graduated at the event after 48 weeks of rigorous training exercise from the Joint Services Institution established in 1976. Amongst them, 15 international military students and 11 from the nation's paramilitary organizations.
Confer on you one and all the symbol part us. Congratulations.
The special guest of honor, President Muhammadu Buhari, presented Order of Merit Awards to those who distinguished themselves from the Land, Maritime, and Air Warfare departments, with Major Sunday Olayinka Atomode emerging the overall best participant. President Buhari, who congratulated the graduating students, expressed the conviction that with a huge investment in their training, they have been sufficiently groomed to take up the challenges ahead as the nation continues to battle insecurity.
Nigeria expects the very best from you in terms of loyalty, commitment to duty, and service to your fatherland. Therefore, you must endeavor to make honest and positive contributions in the discharge of the constitutional responsibilities of the armed forces of Nigeria.
Most of the security challenges facing the world today, the president said, are both asymmetric and transborder in nature, involving mainly non-state actors. The West African sub-region and indeed the continent of Africa, he noted, are not immune to these threats.
We have witnessed recent terrorist attacks in Nigeria bearing the hallmark of national and transborder insurgents trying to cause havoc. Combating these prevalent security threats effectively demands that African countries continue to work together at all levels. It will be part of our duty to confront these terrorists and insurgents and wipe them off the face of the earth and bring peace to our countries.
The college has laid a solid professional foundation for you to make timely and informed decisions in addressing the numerous challenges that you are bound to meet as you make progress in your respective careers.
16,202 officers of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, 242 paramilitary and civilian staff, as well as 1,010 non-Nigerian officers from more than 30 countries have been trained by the college since inception in 1976. From Jaji, Kaduna State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Guests on 98's Current Affairs program, Nigeria Today, say symbolically a peace accord is necessary for the peaceful and successful outcome of the general elections come 2023. Speaking on the program, legal practitioner Abubakar Ahmed advocated legal and punitive measures to be put in place to act as a deterrent to any breach of the agreements by political candidates and their supporters.
It should be that what will happen if there is no peaceful election? Who are you going to hold accountable? Are we looking at the possibility of even having a situation where if you have found one team for causing election not to go unpeaceful, you can be debarred from even contesting?
Director General of the Flag Foundation of Nigeria, Chris Agiri, says the realization of the peace accord depends on the efficiency of security agencies and electoral stakeholders.
Not about investments, not about profit and sale. It is about humanity. It's about peace. In the first class, if there is peace, there's no amount of money that will give you joy. That is why, according to Thomas Hobbes, he said that the first law of nature is the law of peace.
The guest also stressed the need for voter sensitization and the importance of the peace accord to ensure compliance. Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 in the evening, live on NTA News 24. Now, less than 24 hours to the Osun State governorship election, the Independent National Electoral Commission has commenced distribution of sensitive and non-sensitive materials for the election to 30 local government areas of the state. Balaji Akin reports.
Activities of the electoral body INEC is at its peak ahead of Osun governorship election. Amid tight security, both sensitive and non-sensitive materials needed for the election, which include biometric voter accreditation system, BVAS machines, ballot boxes, and papers, as well as other materials, are already being distributed to the 30 local government areas in the state. Party agents watch keenly the exercise being supervised by the Osun State Resident Electoral Commissioner.
Materials are customized according to the local government, and then even according to the polling units. At the local government, your party agents will be there to also witness the arrival and also confirm the quantity of materials that are being transported there. Please, we need your cooperation for that.
INEC boss Professor Abdulgani Raji signed the EC8B form for the election.
Any result when you are public that doesn't contain this signature is not a valid one.
The Osun State governorship election will hold on Saturday, 16th of July. In Osogbo, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
We have our correspondent, Olabo Diarra, who is on standby to fill us in on the ambience ahead of the governorship election. I believe he's also there with Lanre Beleyi. So, give us a sense of the mood there in Osogbo this morning, 24 hours to the election.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. This is the first 24 hours to the 2022 Osun governorship election. And obviously, from what we have seen so far, members of the public, they are expectant, waiting to cast their ballots. We can see the city of Osogbo, people traveling to their villages, in order to go and vote at their villages and their homesteads. We can see people still going about to buy foodstuff in preparation for the weekend. So, and some of those who have spoken to, they have indicated their readiness to cast their ballots. They are waiting. They are waiting. The city is expectant. Members of the public, the electorate, they are waiting. Some of the places we have even seen INEC, they have been distributing some of the non-sensitive and sensitive materials in preparation for the elections.
But just focusing on security, what have you observed on the way to your location? Is there any cause for concern?
Okay. Okay. As of now, for example, in the area of security, we can see members of the security men. There's tight security everywhere. You know, to ensure that the election goes peacefully. So far, there is no problem. I think my colleague is here also here. Likely to also speak further on some of the observations we have made in since our arrival here.
Thank you, buddy. Well, Osun State is made up of big towns contiguously, and with this, we have a lot of towns preparing for the election. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the preparation. I have somebody here, Mr. Aderemi. Mr. Aderemi, please come closer. Mr. Aderemi is an hotelier, and he has been in Osogbo for years. And he's going to paint a picture for us what is happening, the preparations for the election tomorrow. Mr. Aderemi, how are you? Let's start with you. How have you been preparing for this election?
Good morning. Very, very much prepared. We have been waiting for this stage to happen. So everybody, I think everybody in this state is very much ready to go to the ballot tomorrow to vote for the candidate of their choice.
You are an hotelier, so you can give us a picture. The influx of people coming into the town, into the state to vote. Have you been able to have a picture?
Wow. Well, so I think since Tuesday, the state has been very busy. Different kind of people coming into the states. So the hotel business, every business in the state has been very, very busy. So we have a lot of people coming in. Together with the festival, a lot of people came in with the festival. Most of them are ready to wait to stop for the surrounding.
So after the election.
After the election. So the state is everything is going on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aderemi. Well, the state, you heard it from Mr. Aderemi, but it looks like everybody is ready. The state is ready to perform their citizens' rights tomorrow. And from what Mr. Aderemi talked to me about before he came on here, he said that the states, everybody, even in communities, they are preparing, even in towns that are not in Osogbo, towns that are very close to Osogbo, they are also ready for the election. Buddy?
Yes, exactly. The surrounding is peaceful. You know, the ambience here is attractive. Our members of the public, you can see them. They are in a respectful mood. If you look around, you know, some of our cameras are going around and looking around. You can see from the area. You can see the ambience. You can see very beautiful. People are expectant that, you know, this weekend's election will be very.
All right, Labo Diarra and Lanre Gbele there in Osogbo giving us updates on the preparations for the governorship elections tomorrow. Thanks a lot for that. Now, Borno State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Kaka Shehu Lawan, has been elected as the All Progressives Congress senatorial candidate for Borno Central in a party primary conducted to replace Senator Kashim Shettima, who is now vice presidential candidate of the APC. The primary election was conducted by the party's primary election committee. Mohammed Goni reports.
480 delegates who emerged from delegate conference conducted in 8 local government areas for the senatorial party primary cast their ballots, producing Kaka Shehu Lawan having scored 459 ballot votes cast.
Having satisfied all relevant electoral laws, by Mr. Kaka Shehu Lawan is our candidate validly nominated to fly the flag of our great party, the APC, the 2023 elections to represent Borno Central Senatorial District. The capacity of Kaka Shehu Lawan is limited. His capability, above all, his personality, and integrity were never in doubt. I
Kakashi Mr. the candidate of the All Progressives Congress into the Borno Central Senatorial District do hereby accept the election results just pronounced by the chairman and return me as elected.
Kakashi Olan, who was adopted unanimously by the Borno Central APC stakeholders to replace Kashim Shettima following the senator's nomination as running mate to the APC presidential candidate, had to go through the primary election as constitutional requirement of the party. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24 up ahead. Insecurity. Ondo State Governor at10 signs a Motekun bill into law. Join us after the break. Thanks for staying with us. More on security matters. The proliferation of small and light weapons in Africa is said to be responsible for the increase in armed conflicts. National Security Advisor Major General Babagana Mongonu stated this in a message at a strategic engagements with civil society organizations on the control of illegal arms. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
More than 12 billion rounds of ammunition are manufactured annually, with 857 small and light weapons in circulation globally. 70% are said to be in Africa, and Nigeria is said to have the bulk of these illegal arms. These have amplified criminal activities in different parts of the country. And to halt the proliferation of the illicit weapons, the federal government in 2021 established the Center for Control of Small and Light Weapons, in line with the ECOWAS and the United Nations Charter.
By this action, the President has further demonstrated Nigeria's commitment to the provisions of Article 24 of the ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms and Light Weapons, which requires each member state to establish national institutions to promote a multilateral approach to stamping out illicit arms trade in the sub-region.
This strategic engagement with the civil society on the control of arms is aimed at soliciting support towards the implementation of government programs.
The Center therefore recognizes the force multiplier impact of the civil society, and it is against this backdrop that the Center is poised to up the ante in its engagement with the civil society organizations to further strengthen our national effort to rein in small arms proliferation through grassroots advocacy, public enlightenment, and all other forms of engagement that are within its organizational power.
To enhance its operations, the center has created zonal offices across the country. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Defense Headquarters has upscaled measures to further secure the Kuje Custodial Center and ensure the arrest of escapees. Director Defense Media Operations Brigadier General Bernard Onyaku stated this at a news conference in Abuja. He stressed that troops are on the trail of the escapees.
A lot is being done. First of all, to safeguard the prison, which has been done. But for the updates, general update, I think we should exercise more patience so that the arrests that have been going on, which some of you have even captured in your various media, certainly there will be a general update in that in due course.
Information from the Kuje Correctional Center indicates that 443 escapees have been recaptured, including 2 high-profile Boko Haram members. And in Ondo State, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has assented to the First Amendment Bill of the State Security Network, codenamed Amotekun Corps. This was at the State Executive Council meeting. Abiola Aria reports.
Briefing journalists after the State Executive Council meeting, Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mrs. Bamidele Olateju, said deliberation was on the Owagon attack, explaining that after the mass burial, 1 person died, making the number of deaths increase to 41, while 17 people are still receiving treatment in the hospitals and the rest discharged.
Right now, the government is working for giving assistance to the victims of the horror attack. And plans are put for constructing a fitting memorial. As you are aware of, a lot of work has been done in that regard, and you will hear the details in due course.
Special Advisor to the Governor on Security and Commander Amotekun Corps, Adetunji Adeleye, said government is reviewing security issues in the state, hence the assent of the bill of the Amotekun Corps.
We want to very deeply appreciate the support that the Corps has been receiving from the state government, especially in the provision of an enabling law that will guide the operations of the Corps.
He noted that the amended law would enhance the security architecture of the state and help the Corps perform better. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
Well, the scale of insecurity, especially killings, appear to be threatening the nation's democracy as Nigeria prepares for the 2023 general elections. Observers have therefore identified massive youth employment and engagement as a means to check the trend, just as concerned Nigerians are calling for the strengthening of the security architecture of the country for the needed peace to thrive. At10 has more.
Nigeria has experienced an upsurge in violence, kidnapping and killings by bandits, unknown gunmen and terrorists in recent times, as reported across the entire country, making citizens to live in fear. These rising cases of insecurity has become worrisome as concerned Nigerians in Calabar call on the government to restore the economy, create jobs for the youths, improve security, thereby ensuring citizens' sense of protection.
Most youths are idle. So in my own perspective, I think the government should engage them, create an enabling environment so that the youth can even engage themselves.
The youth, if the government have given them work on what to do, I think it can be tackled a bit to a barest minimum.
For us the youth to think wisely in electing somebody that will, one, eradicate this unemployment, then also to put things in place for a better Nigeria.
For the Cross River State Police Command, adequate security measures have been put in place for the protection of lives.
Police is working assiduously to make sure crime in the state is being reduced. We have our tactical teams that is helping to fight crime.
Respondents, however, expressed optimism that when credible candidates emerge in the 2023 general elections, the nation will be made to regain its peaceful status. In Calabar, at10, NTA News.
To business now, financial experts are advocating more education to expand tax net. Over now to Kunde Adeyeye for details.
Tax transparency is one of the major drivers of economic development. Consequently, countries without natural resources have always leveraged on taxation for survival. A tax analyst, Oji Philip Oji, is advocating some restructuring in Nigeria's tax system. He emphasized that Nigeria needs to solidify its membership of Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development by embracing globalization and electronic service delivery in tax administration. Oji also remarked that the anticipated reforms will complement the various innovations the Federal Inland Revenue Service has introduced to Nigeria's tax system.
Whatever thing you are doing in the world, you must have to either go and check what other people are doing, particularly in tax. The globalization and the electronic service delivery have is forbidden that somebody will operate in isolation. You must behave the way the world is behaving, because most of the tax you are talking about is no longer going to be visiting somebody's premises. Some of them, you don't need to be in Nigeria. Before you do business in Nigeria, maybe UK, maybe in Canada, maybe anywhere, but yet doing business in Nigeria. So it means that you must belong to the track, so that you simply get the automatic information sharing that will give you money without any stress. So we are not keen in, because we lack this maintain. A lot of things have to be done in our structure to get us tracked into the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Guide, which is one of the 10 global principles.
He said countries like the United States of America, Canada, Ghana, and Kenya have had calls to take a cue from some modernized systems. With business news, I'm Kunle Adeyeye.
Small businesses in Nigeria can now have greater access to global markets while increasing visibility of Nigerian products. This is sequel to a recent memorandum of understanding signed between the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, and the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDEN, aimed at boosting the first West African MSMEs Export Opportunities Exhibition.
We've done the market intelligence, and from the report, we realized that most Nigerian products are required in Gambia. We intend to get a date and go with not less than 50 exporters, with different products, but mostly MSMEs to Gambia.
We believe Nigeria should be taking the lead when it comes to MSME products within this geopolitical, within the West African market and the African market.
Compass Model reports that the synergy between SMEDEN and the NEPC is expected to create more trade hubs for MSMEs to enable them to have competitive advantages in African markets. You're still on to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We'll take another break. Stay with us.
Put it out there. Quite literally, you can see how much degree of work. Oh, see the razzmatazz there from Algeria to Basra, and I like
it. So much resistance level in him, so much resistance, and I bet you Aljanin Metakwasara has a lot to do here today.
Here is Aljanin Dogon Ebola taking on Bahagon Dan Sanda. Aljanin Dogon Ebola is the one where, and Aljanin Dogon Ebola has been killed. Something stylish about them, and Bahagon Dan Sanda is also dramatic about it.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The benefits of exclusive breastfeeding for mother and child have been noted as tremendous. Apart from the bond it creates between infants and their mothers, medical experts say that exclusive breastfeeding helps to build the immune system of babies. Another school of thought considers its cost effectiveness for particularly the indigent. These benefits and more are what we hope to highlight on this edition of Deadline 360 as we look at modern trends inhibiting exclusive breastfeeding in Nigeria. Thanks for tuning in. I am Omotola Omojola. To strengthen the global commitment to eliminate child malnutrition and prevent neonatal deaths, exclusive breastfeeding for babies as a natural health prescription, experts emphasize, remains the only way to prevent and reduce infant morbidity. Elizabeth Omori in this report takes a look at this cheapest form of feeding for infants, the social challenges and efforts are sustaining the practice.
Obviously, enjoying a meal, breastfeeding, a process in which human breast milk is fed to a child, primarily as a source of nutrition for newborns, containing fat, protein, carbohydrates, variable minerals, and vitamins. The breast milk also contains substances that help protect an infant against infections and inflammation, contributing to healthy development of the immune system.
You suck like 8 to 10 times in a day. It makes the baby very strong.
The World Health Organization recommends that breastfeeding commences within the first hours of a baby's life and exclusively for 6 months. Joint report by UNICEF and WHO shows that in Nigeria, 1 in 8 children do not reach their 5th birthday, while 3 in 10 are stunted. This, medical experts say, promotes malnutrition in infants. As Nigeria strengthens advocacy on breastfeeding, Dateline 360 decided to visit the office of the chairperson, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, FCT chapter, Dr. Florence Uchendu.
Even in Nigeria now, the malnutrition rate among children is very high. And this can be handled if exclusive breastfeeding is being done 100% or at least 90-something% in Nigeria. Stunting among 6 months to 59 months now is 37%. Wasted 7%. Underweight 22%. Anemia in Nigeria, at least 68% of children are anemic. Vitamin A deficiency that gives children night blindness and is preventable is approximately 30% in Nigeria.
Findings indicate that breastfeeding reduces the risk of respiratory tract infections, sudden infant death syndrome, and prevents childhood cancers, especially leukemia.
The first thing that comes out, that comes out from the breast of the mother about 30 to 1 hour after delivery is the first immunization the child gets, because it is loaded with antioxidants and things that will prevent the child from catching infection. So it's cheap, it's economical, it's convenient, it's clean, sterilized. A child that is being exclusively breastfed can never suffer from diarrhea.
Are there exceptional circumstances that prevent nursing mothers from breastfeeding aside death?
For example, women that are HIV positive. In the past, they were told to, okay, since you have HIV, you cannot give your child breast milk so that you don't pass the HIV to the child. But now it's no longer so, because as long as that woman, the pregnant woman, went to the hospital on time and is detected and is given the treatment, she will not pass that infection to the child.
Not being breastfed, experts say, leads to increased type 1 and type 2 diabetes. What challenges are associated with the noble child survival practice?
When baby sucks too much, all the nutrients inside your body, she will suck everything out and you start to be feeling hungry.
Sometimes the nipple is cracking, is even paining you. At times the breast is so gorged that it's even staining your clothes. But I think it's a thing of joy.
Supplemented breastfeeding is, however, recommended until at least 2 years.
It's a temporary discomfort. Temporary discomfort. Some women are shy in the public, giving their breast in the public, but there are the types of clothes you sew. You can have breast buttons, and even they have breastfeeding bra. and that will only expose your nipple and nothing more. And you sew that cloth and you only exposes that.
Exclusive breastfeeding is a natural prescription, and that is why the breast milk gives your baby a healthy start in life. Elizabeth Omori reporting for Dateline 360.
An age-long practice, breastfeeding has been identified as the most effective way to protect maternal and child health. Ashizi Gopep in this next report compares what breastfeeding practices was like in the past with what it is now, and factors responsible for the turning trend.
As of my age, when I was born, our mothers breastfed us exclusively with breast milk. There was nothing like this artificial milk, and even if it was there, this was meant for big men that could afford this artificial milk. As of then, our behaviors and characters was normal and good. Everywhere was peaceful, no cultism, no killing, nothing.
For many decades, animal's milk was the most common source of artificial feeding for newborn babies. Pap and panada were used as supplements to animal's milk when the infant failed to thrive. History also has it that before the availability of infant formula, at critical situations, unless a wet nurse was found promptly, the baby might die. It is in view of these practices and many life-threatening situations for the mother and child that the World Health Organization (WHO) recommends that breastfeeding should begin within the first hour of a baby's life and continue as often and as much as the baby wants. Hence, breastfeeding is the natural means by which a baby receives nourishment. In most societies now, women usually nurse their babies, which is said to be the most natural, convenient, and less expensive method of feeding a baby.
When you breastfeed baby, especially exclusive breastfeeding, it helps baby to be healthy, active, and he will not sick, and it also improve hygiene. You not have problem of waking up, washing of things, washing of the feeding and the plates.
Medical experts advise that breastfeeding initiated within the first hour of birth should be provided exclusively for 6 months and continued to 2 years or beyond.
Exclusive breastfeeding is very, very important for both the child, the mother, the family, and the nation. For the mother, this breast milk makes them come back to their pre-pregnancy size, and it increases the bonding between the child and the mother.
When you are breastfeeding a child exclusively for at least not less than 6 months before you introduce anything, water, not even water, it gives him or her the strength. The weight is more, he's stronger, and he can, if you bring him among other children that are not doing exclusive breastfeeding, he appears very different, positively.
In addition to improving child survival and protection against life-threatening and chronic illnesses, breastfeeding promotes healthy growth and boosts early child development. Breastfeeding is good for babies and mothers as well, as research over the years have shown that it protects against postpartum hemorrhage, postpartum depression, ovarian and breast cancers, among others.
Empowering and enabling women to breastfeed exclusively should be a priority so as to keep every child alive and build healthy, smart, and productive society. In Makuji, Ashizi Gopep reporting for Dateline 360.
Hoping that their educational deprivation is not the end of the day.
Agencies and stakeholders to proactively effectively tackle these challenges,
women in most countries of the world constitute about 50% of registered voters. Williams, reporting for Dateline 360.
Jones, Caleb Gochin, Deadline 360.
Deadline
360. Chidi Okrafo.
For Deadline 360.
In Lagos, Michael Olaleye.
Reporting for Deadline 360.
I am Omosola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in.
What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially the NTA's political package, with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunfi. Welcome.
You have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their. In fact, between June 1st and July 17, 19-point-something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
So we can see a sharp contrast in breastfeeding practices of the past and the present. Now we take a closer look at some social and cultural inhibitions to exclusive breastfeeding, especially for parents who prioritize beauty and good looks despite the odds. Achari Maxwell in Kaduna reports that proponents of exclusive breastfeeding are not relenting.
Welcome to the world. His arrival comes with challenges for his survival from infancy to adulthood. His first encounter is with his mother's breast, which has been established as more nutritious with capacity of child protection against diseases.
It is good to breastfeed your child exclusively, but it's also very good to start early, that is, immediately after delivery.
Exclusive breastfeeding is even easier because I don't have to be going about carrying baby's food, baby everything all the time, and then it's economic wise it's cheaper.
You have development of nerves, development of cognition and all of that. Breastfeeding really plays a major part in helping this to occur. That's why when you see certain children that are did not really have exclusive or did not really have that attention with their parents, there's the disconnect between them and the mother subsequently.
It's very good. It's very important for the children, and it is make children to be very sharp.
It encourages that bonding. That's why you see sometimes you see a child, when the mother just passes, you see them use their eye to follow and to ensure that this is actually my mom. This is what I'm benefiting from the child, from my mom. Sorry. Then now talking about benefit to mother. It actually encourages the mother now to be able to return back to her normal shape.
Experts have been pushing for 6 months exclusive breastfeeding for a newborn baby. However, there are factors hindering the realization of exclusive breastfeeding among nursing mothers. Women's desire to maintain their breast.
If wife is don't care himself, anytime that his breast will be collapse.
You or the wife, if she's taking good care of her body, nothing like that will happen.
My husband did complain. In fact, he liked it, and my breast didn't sag. So whether you do exclusive breastfeeding or not, when it is time for the breast to sag, it will definitely sag. In my own case, I bless God for the kind of breast I have. It's still okay. So
when her breast is going down, she needs to take the thing that will bring her breast up.
You see a mother will come to tell us that my husband said stop breastfeeding child for 1 year and all of that. We just need to encourage the father. Let them know the benefit of breastfeeding a child. Even after 6 months, the child needs to be breastfed with other family feed for 2 years. That is the WHO standard.
There is an increased awareness now that nursing mothers have embraced exclusive breastfeeding, understanding its health implications for both mother and child.
Sometimes when the father needs my attention, I'll have to make him understand the fact that the baby is very tender, and this attention he's asking for, he should be patient and allow me to give it to the baby pending, because it's not going to last for a very long time. So after some time I will have enough attention for him.
After 6 months, how to start up with other feed, not rushing the child. You know, some mothers immediately they are eager to ensure that 6 months, let just 6 months get to the corner and let me start. And when it's 6 months, they want to give them everything at the same time. So we tend, there are some mistakes they make. If either is the family food, maybe they add too much spices, we encourage them, do like this and do like this.
The message here is very simple, that families should embrace exclusive breastfeeding. It is not just cheap, but it's also the surest safeguard for the child against infectious diseases. Achari Maxwell, Deadline 360.
We have heard so much on the advantages of exclusive breastfeeding as well as some factors hindering compliance. In our next report, Ruth Agwele explores the world of working mothers and how they balance their roles as workers and nursing mothers.
Children are special gifts from God, but nurturing them comes with a lot of demand, especially from the mothers. The challenge for most mothers who want to pursue their careers and at the same time breastfeed their babies exclusively can be daunting. Nyere John is a mother of 2 and a broadcaster with the Nigerian Television Authority. Her decision to breastfeed her babies exclusively was a choice she had to bite hard to make. She shares her experience.
It's quite challenging, especially for a job like mine, because we work around the clock here. The fact that you're also not comfortable because you're in a work environment, probably you do not have the right place to go breastfeed your child. You might just be breastfeeding in the open. The work would also suffer, truthfully, because you may be at a point in your job trying to do something and your baby needs your attention. Your child is crying, you need to go attend to the baby to breastfeed because there's no other thing to give the child. You can't give water, you can't give anything. To be truthful, it's a very difficult thing for a mother, a working mother, to breastfeed a baby exclusively.
Ungufan Ungwai is a new mom who must also juggle work and nursing, although she finds it intriguing yet demanding. But her quest to make sacrifices to be productive at work and ensure her baby gets the best of her is a whole new experience.
I would say that the experience has not been easy. When I started breastfeeding, the breast milk was not flowing, so it was flowing, but she couldn't latch onto my nipples. Because of that, I would have to express into a feeder, give it to her. But having to juggle between, raising a child, breastfeeding, and work is quite tasking, especially, having to get her ready in the morning to come to the office. She always wants to suck when we are about to get into the car.
Going by the pressure from work, Rosalie Shitu, who is also experiencing motherhood for the first time, wishes the situation could be different.
On exclusive feeding, I must breastfeed him time to time. Leaving him behind is like I just want to starve him or putting him on stress, crying unnecessarily. And as a responsible mother, I hold him the responsibility to keep him around where I can easily gain an access to him and take good care of him as well.
As mothers continue to cope with their realities, building mentally sound children is expedient, even as they keep their dreams alive.
If you have an infant and it's far away from you, it's actually reduces your concentration. But if the child is within the working environment that is not so far that you can see every now and then, it makes you more productive, and of course it increases the bond with the child, and overall it gives us a healthier child.
It's also good that work environment creates work schedule that's conducive or convenient for nursing mothers.
It depends on the work environment. If you have a crutch,
even if you're a working mother, it's a price. That is the joy of a mother, to have your baby around you and give your best as a sacrifice.
No doubt, love comes with sacrifice, and motherhood is one that cannot be bargained. Ruth Aguele for Dateline 360.
Exclusive breastfeeding as a practice has stayed despite the many modern options available to nursing mothers presently. Help from family members and friends will go a long way to ensure that nursing mothers do the needful. I am Omotala Omojola. Thank you for the pleasure of your company. God bless you and bless Nigeria.